accent that so it doesn't just kind of blend into everything else. So that will conclude Zone 4. I am going to move into Zone 1, keeping in mind this is not the side that she parts on. However, I like to call these pieces that are around the hairline and the face my money pieces. So even though this is not the side that she parts to, these pieces are very important because this is what will end up around her face. So, like I said, to go right on top of those panels or those accent pieces, we are going to do the blonde probably twice, maybe 3 times. And just kind of get in there and see how I feel once I get a feel of how much hair and density that I'm dealing with. The point is to make that accent piece pop by surrounding it with more blonde than dark. You know, and you also have to remember that when you're high and low lighting someone, you are double darkening them if you use a 1-to-1 ratio, because typically the base color is already going to be dark. So if you put dark and blonde, you end up with more dark than you do blonde. Which is why when I get into Zone 1 and the other side of Zone 2, I will be taking slices of blonde versus weaving of low to help balance that out. Okay, so now I am moving into the top of Zone 1. I would like to create heavier blonde around her face. So that is why I have more blonde than I do dark in what I call my money pieces to complete the rest of Zone 1. And going in with a woven section of low to help contrast all of the high. Okay, so we are about to complete Zone 2. And what I would like to do is give her a lot of nice, bright, blonde pieces right around her face. So I am going to do a couple low lights, finely woven, back to back, before I slice the blonde right around her face. I want these twills to be back to back, but I also want it to be very soft. So getting back into the trying to avoid those lines of demarcation, especially when you are in the hairline, is why you will see me weave out of these slices fine pieces so it does not come across as a huge hunk of blonde, and it will be more transitional or natural. So by taking back-to-back slices in this panel, this is what is going to create her accent piece. Just to give her something fun, something a little different, but not get her too far out of her comfort zone. Okay, so I have placed all of the foils in. Now I am going to go back, and in between the foils, I am going to apply the toner. Once again, this toner is going to neutralize any unwanted undertones in her base color. So I feel like with the formula that I have chosen, in the end, if all goes well, she will be a champagne beige dimensional blonde. After I complete applying the toner, she is going to process at room temperature for 35 minutes before we shampoo. So after Lindsay is processed for 35 minutes at room temperature, I am going through and removing the foils. I am going to shampoo her with Blonde Glam twice. And then I will follow up with the chemistry system. I have pre-mixed the chemistry system with Strength, Real Control, and Color Extend. After this sits for 5 minutes, I will seal with the Fixed Phase 3.5, rinse with cool water, towel dry, and then I will finish with the Intense Renewal. Let that sit for 5 minutes, rinse cool, towel dry. And what the chemistry system has been designed to do is put back into the hair what chemicals have taken out. Other benefits of the chemistry system are that it seals the cuticle, it locks this in, prolongs your color, and is an immediate visible result. So the hair will immediately shine, feel healthier, feel stronger. And what I love about the chemistry system is that unlike a hot oil treatment or a heavy cream or a heavy conditioner, it doesn't leave the hair feeling weighed down or heavy. Okay, so we have colored, rinsed, shot. Now she is ready for the cut. So what I am going to use is a cutting lotion, and to put some protein back into her hair is Anti-Snap. Anti-Snap is going to help detangle the hair, and as I said, put back into her hair what she is lacking. It's very good for preventing breakage. Lindsay parts on the left and goes to the right. I do not cut the hair to part. However, I do like to know the general area that someone parts so they just don't end up with too much weight to one side. We are just going to do a long layer. I don't like to go into a lot of layering with hair this length because it tends to make the ends look very thin or stringy. So I am just going to be doing a long layered cut on Lindsay, taking off her dead ends, shaping it up with long layers, and at the very end I will give her invisible layers in the halo area. Okay, so now we have completed the cut and it is time to style. I am going to start with 07 full frame for volume. to work this into the halo area only. And I like full frame because on a scale of 1 to 26, full frame is a 7. So this is going to give you moderate control, obviously volume, but because I am only working this part into the halo, it is important that we protect her hair from the heat. And I am going to use Iron Silk 07 to do that. I have found that if you start drying a side bang first, if your guest has any growth patterns or has a side bang that I like to say will not cooperate, it is more likely to cooperate if you dry and style this portion of the hair first. Because once that hair starts to dry in its natural fall, any growth patterns or cowlicks, as some would say, will start to take over, and it just makes it more difficult to get that side bang to stick or stay. You can see that blonde panel in the front starting to pop out, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. After I complete this section, I am basically going to go through the hair and just blow it out with my fingers until I get her to about 85 to 90% dry. And that is when I will start round brushing for volume and just to give her a more polished look. Okay, so we have round brushed almost her entire head. I'm in the halo section now, and I am just making sure to round brush everything on base to give her lots of volume. So taking it all the way down, cool shot. This will help set the on-base technique to get her maximum volume. You can see from the side that hump that you get right there, which is very important in the crown area, especially when you're dealing with hair of this length. And you can already see how that halo is getting maximum volume. So you can imagine once I get the invisible layers in there, Lindsay will finally have volume and be able to maintain her length as well and keep a nice full thick perimeter. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the invisible layering. Invisible layering is basically 3 sections. Section 1, Section 2, and Section 3. What the back combing is doing, when I make my cut, it is going to create so many different points of where that shear cuts that when it is all combed out, it will be completely seamless. So starting at section 1, holding that up, I will take the first third off. Middle section, if you could imagine this broken into 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, the third section comes off. So after doing the invisible layers, I have combed her out, and as you can see, this gave her a lot of volume. I have not done any kind of back combing or anything, and you can see from the side, this gave her more volume in her profile. And just to add to that, I am going to make one more final cut right beneath the crown. And how many times you do this and how big your subsection is should be determined by the density of the hair. In Lindsay's case, I am only going to do this one time, right beneath the crown. I'm going to take a subsection 1.5 to 1 inch wide, and with my Zambia texturizing shear, I am going to weave my blade in and out, in and out, in and out, right at her scalp, and cut. What I've learned is that the short hair pushes long, so by creating these very short pieces at the scalp, these short pieces are going to help volumize her crown. Okay, so now what we are going to do, I really love the cut, I love the color, I love the way all of it flows. I just want to give it a more polished look. I am going to do that by misting with the hot sets. I'm going to mist it with the hot sets 22 and curl with my flat iron, like I said, to just create a beachy wave. And then to conclude, I am going to sprinkle into the halo area the 03 powder grip. Probably do a little bit of back combing. I'll finish with the 18 quick dry and the 02 shine flash for show. Okay, so I have worked my way all the way through her hair section by section, just giving her a very nice, soft, beachy curl. Most importantly, what a lot of people fail to realize is after you curl, it is just as important to let the curl cool or set. This will be my last piece. And now we will let it cool. Okay, so to conclude, I am going to use the 03 powder grip and just lightly sprinkle into the halo. And basically what this product is going to do is give me a little bit of texture or control, because when the hair is clean, it can be difficult to manage. So I like the powder grip because, like I said, it just gives the hair a little bit of texture. So now when I go in, I'm just going to do a little bit of back combing. Because of the way that it was cut, I shouldn't have to do a whole lot. And the little bit that I do, because I prepped the hair properly, it will stick and it will stay. So now I just want to kind of work that out with my fingers. I don't want it to look real polished, real finished. I want it to be kind of soft, kind of messy. And I still want you to see that disconnection in her layers. And then I will finish with the 02 Shine Flash, obviously for shine, and 18 Quick Dry. Okay, so So this will conclude my signature look on Lindsay of soft, dimensional, high and low lights, shaping up her cut, adding volume, instant volume, and finishing her with a nice, soft, beachy wave. And as you can see with the smile on Lindsay's face, she is very happy. Ta-da! Voila!